Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of interview here on DBS television. Today we'll be talking issues related to health, and in this edition we are looking at autism, what it is all about, and we are looking at autism as a silent societal threat, a threat that can touch any one of us. That is why in this edition of the program we are discussing with someone who has a mastery of this disease called autism. We're talking of Stephanie Mati. Good afternoon, Madama. Thank you for talking to us this evening.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me here. It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Our pleasure to having you to talk with us about autism, and we must indicate that you are the founder of an association that is going to become, hopefully in the days ahead, a non-governmental organization. You are not alone in charge of autism, I think.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
Yeah, my name is Stephanie Mati, and I am the founder of You Are Not Alone.
Yes.
Which is a center where we look after people who have not only autism, but who also have other special need conditions.
All right. Now, today we are looking at autism as a silent societal threat, and let's begin by looking at the situation of this disease. How is the situation of this disease in our society? They say charity begins at home. Let's begin from Cameroon. How is the situation in Cameroon like to say? Are there so many patients suffering from this illness?
The truth is that I come from the UK, and I remember during my visit here in Cameroon, when I came, I noticed that the condition of children who have autism was very, very alarming because of the fact that many parents who have children with autism have lack of understanding of what was autism. Therefore, they was unable to manage effectively the condition of their children.
Yes.
So that's why I thought about it. I tried my best to see how to best support them. And I thought the best thing to do was to create a center where they can come together, and then we can teach them first of all what is autism and how to best support your child. So yes, and we are in Bonabo. Yes, that's what we have been doing. So since 2021, we have been providing, our support to children who have autism and other special needs.
All right. Now, there were so many children. Like, if we could estimate in terms of statistics, what can we have like in Cameroon?
To be honest with you, the condition of children, statistics in Cameroon, I've not conducted the proven statistic yet, but from my point of view, which might not be proven, is that there are so many children who are autistic here in Cameroon than other countries. Statistics show that in USA they have 1 out of 54 children who have autism, and in the UK where I live, there are 1 out of 70 children who have autism. But in Cameroon, it looks at, I think it's a bit more. Yeah.
Now you're talking about the situation in out of the country. Let's look at it where you live, where you spend most of the time. Is this disease perceived the same way here back home like it is done perhaps in the UK?
I want to say yes and no.
Okay.
Let me start with a no first. No, because luckily today in the UK there is a lot of awareness about autism, and also there's a lot of acceptance, because people already have knowledge of what is autism. They're accepting it, and also the inclusion has improved a lot. We have autistic people who are working or who can gain employment. We have a lot of, for example, in the UK, I run a charity there where we support children who have autism. We help them to basically have, we help them to achieve the best, their full potential. Whereby here in Cameroon, we are still struggling with that. We already with parents who are finding it difficult to accept the condition of their loved one, which is something very, very important, because as long as you are refusing to accept that your child has special need, it is difficult for you to help your child to develop his full potential. And that is where we find it challenges sometimes, because most parents believe that autism is a witchcraft. It's something that happened because maybe your auntie, your uncle, your grandparents, whoever, or even your partner, someone may not be happy with you, and then due to
like
that,
your
son,
kind of.
a curse. Yes,
Yes.
thank you. But that is not. That's where we are still fighting to help them understand that. Well, I'm not saying that a curse or whatever does not exist, but what I'm saying is that, first of all, it's a scientific issue. So everyone can become autistic. In the UK, it's not anything to do with only black community, it's also the white community. In the UK, for example, we have, white community, children who have autistic as well.
All right. Now, you are talking about this illness. Let's look at it. Is it curable?
Unfortunately, there's not a proven, proof yet that autism is curable 100% by any type of medication. However, autism can be improved dramatically if your child is supported. If your child is in the right place where they support your child. For example, in our center at You Are Not Alone, there are children who came to us, they were not communicating, were having challenging behavior, because we have a lot of professionals there who are supporting them, who are guiding them. Today, this children behavior has improved a lot. And some of them are even starting communicating. So, and this is my joy, because when I hear parents testifying themselves of the fact that, when the children were coming to us, they were finding it difficult to manage their behavior. They were finding it difficult to get them to sit down for 2 minutes to carry a task. But today, the children can sit for more than, even some up to half an hour to carry a task. For me, this is already an achievement. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we come back to, those who are watching at us would want to know, maybe I have such a situation at home and I don't know. Maybe I have a relation who has it and we are not able to identify it. How do you pinpoint to say that this is actually autism? For example, what I'm asking is, what are the symptoms?
Okay, the symptoms are quite simple and quite visible. For example, in my situation, I noticed that my son had a condition as early as 3 months old. Because, for example, my son were not giving me eye contact. My son was not crying. My son was not smiling. So these are the symptoms.
The basic things that you can identify in a child of that age.
Yes, in a child at that early stage. When your child doesn't smile, when you have concern as a mother, you understand. Although in my condition, I was taking my son to the hospital, and even my doctor told me that my child was fine. But as a mother, I knew that something was definitely not okay with my son. So long story short, at the end of it, you have a diagnosis of having this condition. So the early, you notice that your child is not doing what it's supposed to do. That's why it is good to know your child development. As a parent, you should know that, okay, this child, for example, when they wake up in the morning, they should cry for food. And when it's time for them to start smiling, they should be smiling at you. The child should be giving you good eye contact. And also, in fact, what I want to say that if you notice anything that is abnormal with your child, place, the best thing to do is to take him to the hospital and let the doctor, give them a proper diagnosis. I know sometimes it's a bit too early to give yourself a diagnosis. It's always best to listen to the advice of your daughter, of your doctor, and also, be an alert parent.
All right.
Yeah.
I wanted you were saying something like get it to the hospital early. When you look at other illnesses, for example, cancer, they'll tell you when you detect it earlier, it is better managed. Is it the same thing with this?
Definitely, yes. With autism, for example, because autism affects the children's communication.
Okay.
When they find out earlier that your child have this condition, if they're less than 2, for example, the more we go, the more difficult it is for children to develop a communication skills, for example. The earlier they start, that's why the earlier they diagnose, the earlier they get the support, and the better this work can be with our children.
All right. Let me go back to you personally. Why this interest in autism? Why you're developing a kind of interest in it? Why you?
Yes, autism is part of me. Autism is my why. Autism is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I am myself a mother of an autistic child. My son is now 21. And the funny thing about it is that despite the fact that my son were born in Europe, when I found out that my son had this condition, it was the first time of my life to hear about the word autism.
Okay.
So when this doctor said to me that your son is autistic, I asked the doctor, what does that mean? Because that was the first time for me to hear the word, autism. So, and then they tried to explain to me, but to be honest with you, I was completely lost. Looking back at it now with all the research that I've done, what I can simply say is that autism is the condition that affects the brain of a child. And because the brain of a child is affected, now the result is that some autistic children don't speak. Some of them are non-verbal. Some do speak. And some have challenging behavior. Some have sensory issue condition. And all the condition varies. So you cannot compare one autistic child to another autistic child. That will be completely wrong. Some autistic child, an autistic child we can bring 2 autistic children here. One can sit here quietly all day with not making any noise. The other one will just be so uncomfortable to be in places like this. So whatever is the level of your autistic child, you just need to accept it and try to see how to make life better for them. Because the better it is for them, the better it will be for you as well. And another thing, people around us who always judge without even understanding. They call our children naughty, they call our children stubborn, they call them lazy, thank you, they call them all sorts of words. But unfortunately, they don't understand the condition of our children, what they are going through. Some are so sensitive to noise. Just a little noise like this will drag them mental, because it goes straight into their brain and it's make them feel uncomfortable. That's why some of them don't want to go out. You will rarely see some of them in places like party, because it's too noisy for them.
All right, Madam, let me just take something again. Do we consider autism as a disability?
Kind of, yes. Yes. I always say that disability, not all disability are visible. There are disabilities that are not visible. Although some parents don't like to call their children that, to make sure that they are disabled. That's why we always say they are able differently. Our children are able differently. They are not disabled. No, they are able differently because they also have strength. Autistic people are not dumb. They have strength. You just need to, as a parent, find out the strength of your child and focus on it. You understand? Even if they are non-verbal, they still have strength. So they are not disabled. They are able differently.
So it's for us parents to consider them like every other child in the family.
Definitely. And that is where some parents are failing. Because you have a child with special needs. And I understand they are level, of course, but whereby the level is not that high, treat them as every other children, and then that will help them to develop also, to learn how to live like any other human being.
Okay, let me come back again to you. You are in it when you talk about autism. What is it? Because I remember you said something about awareness and acceptance. Linking it to your situation, what do you want to pass across?
I want to tell parents that I understand, I know, I've been there. I'm saying it from my son is 21. Yes, my son is 21 years old. I'm saying it from my own experience as a mother. And guess what? My son was severely autistic, non-verbal, no sense of danger, and you name, it. Looking at it today, I want to encourage, first of all, everyone who is listening to us, whether you have a family member or you are a parent or you are just someone who wants to understand what is autism. It is good to be informed. It is good to have the knowledge, because up to that time before my son's diagnosis, I never knew what was autism. I wish I knew what was autism before. And because, even if you have never had a child yet, you never know. I don't wish anyone to have an autistic child, but guess what? If it's happened, it's happened. And we don't choose what God gives to us. And every child is a gift, honestly. And that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm here in Cameroon this time. On the Saturday, I will be having a conference at Lewat Hotel at 10 a.m. where I'm inviting you listening to me today to come to find out what is autism, how to support an autistic person, and also how can we include them in our society, because they tend to be rejected by the society. And I'm not going to be alone on that day. I'm going to be with Madame Epe Yolande Epe, who's going to be talking about Down syndrome, because these are two conditions that people sometimes get to confuse them. Sometimes people think that an autistic person is someone who have Down syndrome.
Okay,
or that
I wanted us to talk about this
autism.
Down syndrome, maybe when about rounding up. But there was something you touched that I wanted to come back to it. Every child is a gift.
Thank you. Yep.
Now, is autism hereditary?
Autism, I want to say no. But, however, science shows that when in the family there's someone who is autistic, there's a chances, little chances for maybe the one sibling to have a child as well who have the same condition. There is not proven. There's a chances. Yes.
All right. Now let's look at other issues. We are talking about this issue. Is there a way we can avoid it, or it has to do with accepting it and living with it?
Honestly, throughout my research, there's no way to avoid autism.
Yes.
There is no way to avoid autism because it is what it is. You cannot avoid it. But what I can advise is that the earlier you find out, the better your child is supported, and then the better the future of that child will be. There are so many people who have autism. For example, Lionel Messi is autistic. Yes. Many people. The player,
the star?
Yes. Do the research. That's what I always say to parents. Parents think that autism is a death sentence.
Yes,
it is not. It is not.
It does not limit you in any way.
No. It depends on the level of the condition of your child. And also, even while going into Lionel Messi, do you know the person, the founder of electricity, the person who brought the light Thomas Edison.
Yes.
This man was autistic.
Okay.
So these people have talent. You need to detect, you need to find out what is the skills of my child. Let them focus on it. If you listen to the story of, Thomas Edison, you understand that, wow. And when you see, when they tell you what this man was doing, you see how autistic people are doing today, you will just be amazed. There are so many autistic people who are famous, who have done great things.
Okay, these are children with special needs.
Yes.
Do they have special schools where they go to, or how they adapt in normal schools?
Well, today it depends on the level of your child. For example, in the UK, they have special school where they go to. We also have other schools who are inclusive. We also include depending on the level. There are some levels that are manageable. We can include them with other children. There are some levels that need more support. Those levels, we put them in the special needs school where they have more support, and they follow different academic curriculum. Yes, because some of them unfortunately are behind the normal curriculum, and that's why we say autism is a spectrum. Some are more advanced. Yes. Here in Cameroon, for example, for what I know, they are also the same, but unfortunately there's not many special needs schools that are available to all our children here in Cameroon. And today we are trying to promote, instead of parents leaving them at home, we are trying to promote inclusion, where the school will be able to accept children with special needs and accommodate them. Also give training to the teachers, the caregiver, to be able to support them to meet their needs. I visited some places here and I saw the way they are screaming at them. For example, a child who has special needs, you give them food to eat. Sometimes they will be taking their time to eat.
Yes.
And then you see me shout to them, "Are you not going to finish that food now?" No. You just need to encourage them. You need to speak to them calmly. You need to speak to them with love, because that's what they need, And that's what I do all the time. Tell parents, watch your language when you speak to your child. It's not because they have special needs. They have a heart. They understand. They feel. Okay? They feel it. Even though some of them have lost their speech, but the sense of, other senses are developed in the way that you don't even need to speak. By them just looking at you, they can feel and they understand what you think of them.
All right. Our time is gradually rushing out, but then let's touch something on this issue of helping these children. Like you say, we've detected it earlier on, it is better managed. When you say helping them, is it helping them with drugs, helping them with medication? What help do you mean here?
Okay, there are a lot of help to be provided. There are also some medication. Yes, I'm not here to talk about it.
Yeah, actually.
Yes. But they are helping them with knowing what to do, basically, and how to communicate with them. Instead of you hitting a child, for example, because they wet themselves, you can speak to them calmly and help them to understand what they need to do. Yes.
Okay, that is the awareness that you want parents to understand.
Yes.
And parents to understand that if you detect such a case, you should inform the school where the child is that this is the situation of my child, so that they can better manage.
Yes, because when your child has special needs, before you take your child to school, you need to be open to the school. You need to tell them that your child has special needs, and therefore they will be able to best support your child according to their need.
Okay, now before we run out, you said something about Down syndrome and autism. Let's come back to it. Tell us, what's the difference between the two?
To know the difference about the two, I'm inviting you on Saturday, the 24th of this month of January, to attend at Lewaru Hotel at 10 a.m. to know what is the difference between autism and Down syndrome, because that is a topic that we're going to talk about.
Okay, yes, I want you to continue in that. If you were to look at your camera and tell these parents who are looking at you, there are certainly some who are watching, they may have that situation. What would you tell these parents about this autism and what they need to do, liaise with you in such a way that we can better handle it in our society?
Well, if you have a child who has special needs or who have autism, it doesn't matter what the condition of your child, please, no need to keep that child in the home. Bring the child to us. You are not alone. We are in Bonabo, and we are in Bonabo, and we accept these children. We love them. We are waiting for them. We are here to provide them with the support that they need. That's what we do. We are here to teach you how to best support your child. We are here to help you understand your child condition. And we are here to help that child knowing that they belong to somewhere here, to our society. And there are so many parents already that with us, so you will know where you belong to.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've gotten what it takes to better handle this societal threat that we have in our society called autism, and it is an opportunity for us to cure behind this this initiative to make sure that we better handle it in our society. That is all we had time for this edition of interview. Looking forward to having you again when the opportunity comes, but then a rebroadcast would be yours on Friday when it will be 2:30 p.m. Until then, have a blessed evening. Goodbye and good night to all of you.